Hello, everybody. I'm off to a little bit of a rough start here. It's been a while since I've broadcast one of these, so I'm a tiny little bit rusty. So bear with me while I set up the screen. But tonight is the SSFA Championship, and it pits the New Orleans Saints against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars took initial possession of the ball, and they have it at their own 44, 1st and 10. Or I believe they had first ball. Maybe they just got the kickoff. Again, a little rusty on this. We'll put some boxes over here and play a little bit of catch up here. Excuse me for just a second. Go get a pair of reading glasses. I'll be right there. Okay, now I think we're settled in. So Jacksonville has made their way into New Orleans Saints territory. We're just 3 minutes here into the SSFA Championship. That is the Spring Stratomatic Football Association. It's a 24-team league. I've called a few of these championships games before, and as I've mentioned, you're basically wringing out the washcloth. That is the 2022 season. SSFA is in the SOMIFA family of leagues. And tonight we are capping off our championship year. Let me see if I can get a handle here on the two teams. I didn't really get a chance to do very much show prep, to be very blunt. I was derelict in my duties this year, but these are two fine clubs. In my regular season, I coached the Cleveland Browns. And last year I played in this SSFA championship and almost took one home. But Green Bay, who had another great year this year, took the championship last year. That gentleman's name is Tom. And I know that Jay is the coach of Jacksonville. I'll figure out New Orleans coach here in just a second. I did wind up playing New Orleans during the year and had a good game with them. But for the year I finished 4-12. It was kind of a disastrous year, maybe a little bit of a rebuild too on top of that. But I know that Jacksonville was at, if not the top team all year, and I know New Orleans was up there in the top 2 or 3. So I'll open up another window here in a little bit, and we'll get their win-loss record, and we'll figure out how they both got here. Now, Jacksonville is led by Tom Brady. Wow, and the running back is Josh Kelly, who's a reserve back for the Chargers. He's a steady back, but certainly not a spectacular one. So I'd be curious to see just what kind of a year Josh Kelly had for Jacksonville. 3rd and 3 for the Jaguars. They've made it to the New Orleans 12-yard line. Unsuccessful on that conversion attempt, as Darvin Cook is stopped, but they get 3. So Jacksonville strikes first blood, and now it's New Orleans' turn. We're just about midway here in the first quarter. Yeah, this is Jacksonville's first possession. So a lengthy drive there for Jacksonville, up 3-0. Nick Chubb with a phenomenal card for the New Orleans Saints. And that's Ryan Tannehill under center. Yeah, I remember this team now. I do remember this team now. Yeah, Aaron Jones is on this club with Nick Chubb. So you've got two just phenomenal running backs. And there's a run for Jones as he picks up 3. So now it's 3rd and 7. So New Orleans will go 3 wide. That's D-Hop, that's Hopkins and Lazard and Devontae Adams. So in addition to having 2 of the best running back cards in the set, he's got 2 unreal wide receivers. If I recall, Tannehill's got a pretty pedestrian card. But he's able to convert on that play on an 11-yard toss, and they get the first down. And that was to Lazard. Here comes a run call, and it was guessed correctly by Jacksonville. Snuffs out the run. Chubb will pick up 2 yards on the D card. It's now 2nd down and 8. Defensive tackle Quentin Williams makes the play. New Orleans converted on their first 3rd down attempt. They have the ball at their own 41. And there is a 6-yard pickup. As Tannehill scrambles and gets 6. So now it's 3rd and 2, and anything goes on 3rd and 2. Aaron Jones is in the backfield, 2 tight end set. Jacksonville pretty stout up front, 5'6", 5'6". Aaron Jones gets a yard, and it's 4th down. Let's see how risky New Orleans wants to be. Again, 2 terrific backs back there. But if he doesn't convert, Jacksonville's going to have good field position. He is going to roll the dice. That's Aaron Jones in there again. Now, New Orleans doesn't have a super line. They do have a couple of 5s there. And he's staring down the barrel of a very good front 4 for Jacksonville. There is a run for Jones. Defense calls pass. Oh, excuse me. It was a pass. I'm sorry. Ryan Tannehill found Devontae Adams for 3 yards on a flat pass. Yeah, it's right there on the defensive card. So 3-yard pickup, and New Orleans converts. There's a dump-off pass from Tannehill to Freiermuth, the Steelers tight end. It's now 2nd down and 1. Let me see what I can find out about these teams. I'll leave a broadcast here for just a moment. There's a short gain of 17 yards. So New Orleans looking really good on their first possession. They made their way down to the 23. The quarter is flying. 3 minutes to go here in the first. Jacksonville up, but New Orleans threatening. Oh, so these are the number 1 and number 2 teams, actually. Jacksonville, 16-1 this year. Wow. And New Orleans, 13-4. So, pardon me, Scott. Congratulations to you on your great season. Scott coaches New Orleans, and Jacksonville coaches the Jaguars. But New Orleans is putting together a very nice drive here. Of course, without that 4th and 1 conversion, it could be a different story. But again, the Saints are on the move, and they now have the ball at the Jacksonville 10. So the flat pass is in play. So on the heels of that, Ryan Tannehill pass to Aaron Jones for 13 yards. New Orleans 1st and 10. However, Nick Chubb is stopped for a 1-yard loss. Guessed right by Jacksonville on that dreaded 5. So 2nd down and 10 from the 11. There's a screen pass. Defense guesses run. It is caught, and there is a touchdown. Ryan Tannehill finds Aaron Jones out of the backfield, and the Saints have answered. That initial Jacksonville field goal, and now they're up 7-3. Eleven-yard run for Joshua Kelly. Ball at the Jacksonville 35, and then Kelly puts together back-to-back double-digit runs. There's 10 yards for Kelly. So the little used back for the Los Angeles Chargers now has 4 carries for 32 yards, and it didn't take very long. Jacksonville is already getting ready to cross midfield, and on that play they do. It's the Josh Kelly show there as Brady finds him for 6 yards. It was guessed right on Brady's card. Second down and 4, ball at the 48-yard line of the Saints. So Jay took his first possession down deep into Saints territory, but had to settle for a field goal. New Orleans, Scott answered with a touchdown, and now Jay with the ball once again as we've made our way into the second quarter. We're early in the second quarter. Jacksonville down 7-3. So Brady catches with Mike Gesicki, the longtime Dolphin tight end who played in New England for 1 season. Well, not long time. He played a couple seasons in Miami, and now he's in Cincinnati. Inside run for Kelly. Defense gets his pass. It's on Kelly's card, but he only picks up 3. It's now 2nd down and 7. From here, it's a 51-yarder, so Jacksonville has made their way into field goal range. 2 tight end set, which we've seen a lot. That's Gesicki and Bellinger, the New York Giants tight end, more of a blocker. And he's looking for Bellinger. And Bellinger gets the catch at 6 yards. It's now 3rd and 1 at the 28. Running clock here, 2nd quarter. 12.5 to go. "13 wins for New Orleans this year, 16 for Jacksonville. 16-1 season for Jay. Number 1 seed, New Orleans, the number 2 seed. I was lucky enough to play in this championship last year and got there, I believe, as a 10 seed, which I think was the longest or the long shottiest of runs. Let's just put it that way. It was a whole lot of fun. I missed not playing in the playoffs this year, but hopefully we'll get back next year. Didn't get a chance to play Jacksonville. Did play New Orleans and played him very tough. As I recall, I had the lead on him with about 2 or 3 minutes left to go, and he converted on a 4th down inside of my 10 for a touchdown that wound up winning the game. Really, really fun game, as I recall. So after that 10-yard pass to Deebo Samuel, Jacksonville now has it on the New Orleans 17, 1st and 10. And Kelly, look at that. Short gain and a 17-yard run, exactly the amount of yards he needs to hit pay dirt. So both of these clubs have scored on all of their possessions. So it's now Jacksonville 10 and New Orleans 7. And New Orleans will take over on their 32. So this is their 2nd possession. So the running backs have both of the touchdowns so far. Aaron Jones with a pass reception for the New Orleans Saints touchdown. And just now, a Josh Kelly 17-yard run. So Chubb picks up 7 on that play. Weapons all over the place here for New Orleans. But Chubb only picks up 2. Right guard not able to make the block. Jones is back in there. Now on their first drive, Jones converted on a 4th and 1. I believe it was, New Orleans did. It was a flat pass to Devontae Adams. But here's a chance for Jacksonville maybe to get off the field. 3rd and 1, 2 tight end set. Wow. A deep pass. Go big or go home looking for Adams, and it is incomplete. That was a nice call, and Jacksonville is breathing a sigh of relief there. But he's got to get focused again because New Orleans, for the 2nd time, inside their own 50, is going to go for it here on 4th down. Dangerous play call here for New Orleans. If they don't convert, they're already trailing 10-7 and potentially give Jacksonville another short field. And Tannehill looking for Adams. Oh, on a very good flat pass card. He finds a blank. Oh, bad break there for the Saints. great break for Jacksonville. And so Jay will take that break, and he will take the ball at the Saints 41. This is their third possession of the game. There's 9 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Sorry about that. And Josh Kelly, once again, your early candidate for MVP, 7 carries for 58 yards, 8 yards a carry, and he has the lone touchdown for Jacksonville, who has 10 points and are definitely looking for more here. Second and 4 ball at the 35. So Cook checks into the game, and he is stopped for no gain. It's now 3rd and 4. So tighten up, New Orleans. Here's your chance. To force a field goal attempt out of Jacksonville. Two tight end set. New Orleans with a 3-4, but they got that vulnerable 4 nose tackle, so you probably will see him move one of those guys up, and he does. And Brady looking for Evans, and he makes the catch for 13 yards and a first down. So defense called run there. So on Brady's short pass, it's hardly automatic, but that's an awfully good guess strong short pass card. The elite quarterbacks all have that, basically. So move the sticks. Jacksonville with the ball at the 22. Crossing pattern pass. This one's going to Deebo Samuel, and it's incomplete on Samuel's card. It was the receiver reading on the D card. 3 in the zone. Kelly on that 3-yard pickup on second down. So now it's 3rd and 7. Boy, the Saints would love to get them off the field here and hold them to 3. Take the sting out of that 4th and 1 that went awry. They could hold them to 3 here. Now Jacksonville will get the ball to begin the 3rd quarter. So this would be ideal if New Orleans could just hold them here. Looking for Evans. He's flushed out of the pocket, and he has to dump it off. And in this case, he only gets 4. So let's see what Jay decides to do. He's going to take the gift 3. And he puts it through the pipes. It was a 2. Good enough. All right, so New Orleans is going to take over. Probably feel like they dodged a little bit of a bullet there, as they only gave up 3. Jacksonville has had the ball 3 times and has 3 scores to show for it. New Orleans now with their 3rd possession. No punts from either one of these 2 teams thus far. They'll start off with a 4-yard gain that was Tannehill to Firemouth. A 4-yard pickup on an interception split, but not much of a chance. Not too bad. Jay's got 5 and 6 corners, 5 and 6 at safeties as well. So, yeah, this team was built for speed. 5-6 across the middle and their linebackers too. Aaron Jones, and they are keying on Jones. And there's a fumble possibility here, and it looks like Jacksonville is going to recover. So a correct key for Jacksonville. And we've now seen the second turnover of the ball game for the Saints. Jacksonville is going to take over at the 31 of New Orleans. So a nice call there. So Aaron Jones on the fumble, Caden Ellis, if you are keeping score at home, with the recovery. Wow, going deep. And that is caught. Evans with the catch. With no man in the zone. And Brady connects with his real-life teammate of Tampa Bay, and Mike Evans. And Jacksonville has extended their lead to 20-7. 3:54 to go. So a super huge drive here for New Orleans. They are going to get the kick to begin the third quarter. So, have to be thrilled if they could turn this into points, and they're desperately going to need them. There's a nice pickup. Chubb, 14 yards. They're down by 2 scores. Maybe if they can get a score back before the half and get the ball back to begin the third. Put back-to-back touchdowns together, and hey, you can take the lead. You too can take the lead in the SSFA championship. Easier said than done. Against the 16-1 ball club with not a lot of vulnerability on the D side. A great front line. Inside run to Jones. He only picks up 2. And that was guessed wrong. New Orleans is just finding all the rotten rolls so far. Really nice card, guessed wrong. It's just he doesn't have anything to show for it. 2:42, ball at their 41. Now, this is exactly where they met their Waterloo on their last drive, actually, or their second drive ago. That's where they went for it on 4th and 1 from the 41 and couldn't convert. Tannehill looking for Firemuth. And that's a 6-yard gain, so it's now 3rd and 2 with 1 play to go before the 2-minute warning. New Orleans has all 3 of their timeouts, as say Jacksonville has taken one. No, they've got all 3 of theirs as well. So I hate to keep saying it, but again, a big conversion here for Jacksonville. Want to keep this drive alive to have some shot at getting a score before the half to cut into this 13-point lead. That's Jacksonville. It's 16-1. Cream of the crop here in SSFA. And so far looking strong. 2-yard pickup. The offensive line doesn't come through with a block, but they do get just enough to get the first down. So we've made it to the 2-minute warning. And New Orleans has made it to midfield. Well, almost 49, their own 49. Trailing by a couple of scores, it's 20-7 in the SSFA championship. This is August 2024, and we are still playing with the 2022 cards. The ratings guide was just released. The new game will come out in a couple of more weeks. This is a season, I think it starts in February. It might be March, February, March, April, May. No, I think it's probably March. I think it's March. We have a draft in January, and I believe we started in March. So it's March, April, May, June, goes a little bit into July, and then we have some playoffs. Maybe we play a little bit in February. I'm not sure. But it's a fun league. Wringing out the washcloth that is 2022. Getting every last drop out of that roster before we start to see the new cards here in just a few weeks. So minute 7 to go. You can see that New Orleans has made their way into Jacksonville territory, but now they're staring down the barrel of a 3rd and 10. Tannehill has dinked and dunked his way to 67 yards. But this puts him in a bad situation. He does not have a good short pass card. There's your sideline pass looking for Lazard. 2 men in the zone. Wow. And he's only going to get 2. So now it's 4th and 8. And I think New Orleans has to go for it here. Well, they're opting not to. They're just going to pin him deep and say, you know what? Well, let's just get into the half. Hopefully they can pin him deep in Jacksonville. Doesn't come up with a crazy run back. They won't. Instead, the ball goes into the end zone. So now with 30 seconds to go, let's see how aggressive Jacksonville wants to be. They do have nice weapons on the outside. And now they're going to go 3 wide. That's Deebo Samuel and Evans, who already has a 38-yard touchdown pass. And KJ Hamler, and for those of you who don't know, he's 5 deep and has all sorts of long gains. So I don't think that Jacksonville is going to go quietly. There it is. He was looking for Hamler, and he just missed on that long gain flat pass reading. It was a 3. Had it been a 2, Hamler would have been off to the races. So 2nd down and 10 from the 20. 3 wide set, shotgun, 3-3-5 defense for New Orleans. There's a square in pass. And he's, well, ordinarily would lose a yard there, but instead it's just an incomplete pass. When the minus comes up, if you're just watching this broadcast and wondering why it wasn't -1, on a flat pass that goes across the middle, which we call a look-in pass, if it's a negative gain, it's just considered an incomplete pass. Another square-in pass. This one is intended for Hamler, and it's intercepted. Oh, my stars and garters. It's picked off, and Jacksonville has just handed New Orleans a scoring opportunity just before the half. 3 consecutive flat passes. And an interception and a great call from New Orleans. They stuck 2 in the flat pass zone, or excuse me, the look-in pass zone, I believe. I didn't see the animation. I got to turn the animation on. But what a call by the Saints. That was excellent. And so they're going to buy their own break here. Really, yeah, that was a great call. Memphis Mafia. That's the Mafia that you see there. So 1st and 10 with 17 to go. Now, here's what's interesting. You would think they would take a shot at the end zone, but New Orleans has 2 really good running backs. I think they both have good end run cards, especially Chubb. And if you happen to get one on the boundaries, there's a chance he could take this in for a score. Off tackle draw to Chubb, and that's basically a key. That's a great call by Jay. That's so easy just to by default say pass and just hope for the best. I didn't do it fast enough. I would love to. We'll look at that later to see what that would have been. I don't know if that would have been a short gain or not, but they went in so quickly that I didn't get to see it. So let's see if they're going to go. Yeah, 2-minute break. And New Orleans definitely need one of those breaks. They got it. Uh, that looked like a 20-7 score into the half, if ever there was. So New Orleans will pick up 3 points, and it's still a 2-score game, but it's a little bit more manageable now. Plus, they're going to get the ball here to begin the third quarter. So they're going to take a break, and so will I. We'll join you in just a little bit. Halftime score of the SSFA Championship, Jacksonville 20, New Orleans 10. We'll be back. So, Monday, August 26th, we're pushing up until the night of the 26th and the 27th. Check out on the 28th period. Visit will take place on the 27th. Okay, had to step away for just a little bit, but we're back at it. So New Orleans quarterback Ryan Tannehill was sacked, loss of 9, fumbled the ball. They'll hold on to it. So it's now 2nd down and 19. Jacksonville up 2 scores here, 20-10 in the SSFA Championship. Scott and his New Orleans Saints, 13-4 on the regular season, 16-1 for Jay. So on 2nd down, that was Aaron Jones, and he loses 2 as he runs right into a linebacker. So 3-3-5, no blitz, shotgun here. Going to be a super difficult conversion for a club with a quarterback like Ryan Tannehill, who's short and long, can't really do much. So they'll just wave the white flag here and run it. and only get 1 yard. So far, very pedestrian numbers for Aaron Jones and Chubb. There's a punt that is not going to be returned, and Jacksonville will take over up 10 points here, 20-10. They'll take over at their own 32. So an underwhelming first drive there for New Orleans, who was trailing by 10, and now they've got to get this ball back pronto. So here we go, 1st and 10. Jacksonville's had that 2 tight end set pretty much throughout the contest. And so now Kelly has checked out, and we have James Cook entering the game. And on his first carry, no gain. Defense guesses run there. Good call, New Orleans. 2nd down and 10. So these are the first touches for Cook, the real-life Buffalo Bills running back. Brady looking for Gesicki. And he's flushed from the pocket. And he dumps it off. Pick up a 7, 3rd and 3. And that's Cook's 2nd consecutive touch. Brady so far 12 of 19, 125 yards, 38 of it going to Mike Evans, 1 touchdown and 1 interception that cost his club a field goal. So Brady tosses this one to Deebo Samuel. Receiver card reading. Samuel catches it, 10 yards, move the sticks. And just like that, Jacksonville is getting perilously close to making their way into New Orleans Saint territory for the 5th time. They've not punted the ball once. They did turn the ball over once. This is their 6th possession. There was an interception split on a Brady short pass attempt, looking for Gesicki again. 2nd and 10, 10:45 to go on a stopped clock here in the 3rd quarter. This is I guess you'd call this the 2022 SSFA championship, even though this is 24. 22 is the season cards that we're using. Pretty confident Jacksonville has won one of these SSFA championships, maybe even 2 of them, as a matter of fact. It's a big play for New Orleans. 3rd and 11. They stay in that 2 tight end set, and they stay 3-4. So down and out looking for Samuel, and he's double teamed. Oh, and he makes the catch. But fortunately, there's a little justice for New Orleans as he is stopped 1 yard shy. Now, is Jacksonville going to be bold? And yes, they certainly are. They're going to be bold. They're going to go for it. Okay, I'll check with everybody tomorrow. Okay, question mark. Thanks for letting me know. So 4th and 1, they're not going full house, just 2 tight end set. It's a flat pass to Bellinger. It's guessed wrong. Wow, had it been guessed right, I think. Let's see. Yep. Had it been guessed right, it would have been stopped for no gain. Or actually, they would have lost a yard, but instead, and rightly so, he called run, and Jacksonville crossed him up with a pass and a 1st down conversion. That would have been huge. Now the order of the day is to hold them to a field goal and keep this game to 2 scores. So a nice call there by Jay. He didn't go into full house. He stayed 2 tight end set. You go to full house and you automatically watch that free safety drop into any zone. So well, he's looking for Bellinger again. Defense is double teaming Evans. And again, he's flush from the pocket, but the line holds up. This time he throws a flat pass, but it's incomplete. Gesicki is not able to haul this one in. From here, it's a 43-yarder. So Jacksonville has a chance to extend this lead to 13 with a pretty manageable field goal. But his goal, obviously, number 1, touchdown. Number 2, along the way, chew up more clock. Turn this into a 3-score game, getting very close to the fourth quarter. And the odds are going to be long for a New Orleans comeback. Well, things are looking up here for New Orleans as they get a sack. They finally get to Brady, and now we're looking at a 52-yarder. A miss here would be huge because there'd be great field position, but he is able to convert. The field goal goes through, and the lead is extended to 13. That's Graham Gano, who had one of the best kick cards in Strat in 2022, especially from deep. So no problem going for it there. But New Orleans is still down by only 2 scores. And there's lots of time. We've just made our way to the midway point of the third quarter. And there is a fumble. Oh, and it's going to be recovered again by the defense. And let's see if he just chooses to fall on it. No, he's going to run a little bit. And pick up 3. So let's see what happened there. So Hopkins caught it, and then Hopkins coughed it up. That's the 3rd turnover now for New Orleans. 2 on fumbles and a 3rd on a failed 4th down conversion. So again, Jacksonville for the 3rd time now has taken over in New Orleans Saints territory following a turnover. Seven-yard pickup on that pass from Brady to James Cook. Brady now with 167 yards through the air, 17 of 27. And after that 2-yard pickup by Cook, it's now 3rd and 2. So we've got James Cook and, I saw Dalvin Cook. I'm like, are you kidding me? I thought he had James Cook. Well, he does have James Cook. He has James Cook and he has Dalvin Cook. Perhaps he's a better rusher on short gains. I don't know. Great call there. Cook running. That would be James Cook. And they keyed him. So now here comes Graham Gano's great dip kick card. Let's see if it comes into play. Oh, and he missed it. Oh, there's a break. Now, had he made it, it's still a 2-score game, although it's a 16-point game. Now it's still manageable, 23-10. New Orleans has caught some really bad breaks and fumbles here. Now, let's see if maybe they've shaken all the fumbles loose and they start to get some good rolls here. Tannehill is not the kind of quarterback that's going to lead your club to victory on his arm. He's still going to have to balance out some throws. But again, you got those barbell cards of Chubb and Aaron Jones and one roll on the boundaries, and those guys can take it to the house. We just haven't seen it yet, though. Jacksonville moved up a linebacker there, and he only picks up 4. That was Nick Chubb. Chubb, 12 carries for 45 yards. But he had one of those. He had one of those fumbles. So I guess that's 3 fumbles now. So that's the 4th turnover. It looks like Chubb has had a fumble. Hopkins has had a fumble. And Tannehill had a fumble too, but they recovered that fumble. So the 2 they lost were Hopkins and Chubb. Oh, God, he sees the second 10. So, yeah, see, look at the difference, all right? The dump-off pass, he hasn't seen that D card. Instead, you got that 10 on Tannehill's card. If that's on the D card on a dump-off, that's a 20-yard pickup. He's just not winning the coin flips right now. So 3rd and 6. And Chubb picks up 4. And now for the 3rd time in this game, undoubtedly, they've got to go for it here on their 42. They're 1 of 2 on 3rd downs. Aaron Jones checks in. I believe he was the back the last 2 times they went for it on 4th. So Jacksonville has a real shot to put this game away if they can stop them here. 2 tight end set, 4-3. Super strong line up front. Oh, and a flat pass. And it was guessed wrong. With all those short gains, he just dances all around him. 4-yard pickup. Had it been guessed right, it would have been a 3-yard pickup. Either way, it's a first down. Oh, excuse me. That was Aaron Jones running. Sorry. And it was guessed right. I apologize. I thought that was a pass. So they called it right, but this time he won the coin flip. Even though it wasn't a big pickup, at least it converted. Davante Adams, 6-yard gain, 2nd and 4. Clock running, 2:24 here in the 3rd. New Orleans has made it into Jacksonville territory. That's 2 tight end set. Now Nick Chubb has checked into the game. Just looking for one of those big rolls. Run king on Chubb. And that's going to be good for 13 on Tannehill's flat pass card. Nice call. But yeah, I could see Jay trying to snuff out that end run or an off-tackle run for Chubb. So he went after it. Now, he did catch Jay in the first half on a 3rd and 1. I can't quite remember if they converted on 4th or not. I don't think they did. I think on 3rd and 1, they threw deep on a 50-50 ball to Davante Adams. He wasn't able to make the catch. And then on 4th down, they weren't able to convert. So I think Tannehill's thrown deep maybe once that I've seen so far. Chubb picks up 7, again on the D card. When is he going to get one of those runs? And here's an incomplete pass on a look-in card. A look-in pass, excuse me, incomplete look-in pass. It's now 3rd down and 3. 3rd down and 3. Interesting to see what they'll do here if they don't convert. Will they just try to go for the 3? Or is this 4-down territory again? Well, it's a moot point because that's a 16-yard pass. That was Adams' 2nd reception, 22 yards. Tannehill is now 13 for 18 for 117. He has 1 touchdown to Aaron Jones. So 18 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. Jacksonville trailing 23-10, but they're closing in on a score. Ball now resting at the 12. That's a quick pass for 3 yards to Hopkins. Hopkins 3 catches for 26. Again, very pedestrian numbers for both of those, but Tannehill is just not really a downfield thrower. So they're just going to dink you and dunk you and hope that you get a big run. One of your backs, Jones or Chubb, can spring one. We just haven't seen it yet. But that doesn't mean that we're not going to see it for the rest of this game, because they are dangerous on every play. So Chubb picks up 2. And we have full house backfield now. 3rd and 5, ball at the 7. And Jones runs it for 7 yards. Defense gets past there. So there's one of those barbell runs. It's 31 yards. He didn't need all those, but he'll take it. And looky here, they have now cut this score down to 6 points. It's 23-17. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a ball game. Great drive there from New Orleans. No panic. So the big play on this last drive was a sack that forced a long field goal from Graham Gano, who was unable to convert. It gave Jacksonville very good field position. I think it was around like the 40, I believe. And they go 60 yards in about 4 minutes. And we're just on the outskirts of the 4th quarter here. And suddenly things have gotten a lot more interesting. After that 2-yard pickup on 1st down, that was a James Cook run. It was on the D card. Defensive end was able to make the play. So he has 5s and 6s on the outside, but he's got a 4 on the inside. So a lot of times he'll bring one of those 2 middle linebackers down. There's an inside run. And the dreaded 5 shows its ugly head. And so the breaks are not coming for Jacksonville. Now that was guessed right. No, excuse me, it was guessed wrong. So yeah, bad break there for Jacksonville J. New Orleans was kind of hedging their bets, basically brought down a defender. So if it's on the D card, chances are you're going to get a good result there. It was on the offensive card, but Jacksonville did not catch the break. So now it's 3rd and 7. Jacksonville has not strayed that often from this 2 tight end set. There is a pass looking for Hamler, and it is on Brady's card. It's a 12. So it dances away from the interception, but suddenly New Orleans is going to get the ball back. With the chance to take the lead. That's a nice 13-yard return from Marcus Jones, the New England Patriot, after the 48-yard kick, and pretty decent field position to start this drive at the 37. So Scott and his 13-4 New Orleans Saints trailing by 6 to Jacksonville J. Jacksonville was 16-1. An amazing season from the Jaguars. Looking for their 19th win today. Actually, it might be their 20th win. I'll have to look at the playoffs. And either their 19th or 20th win. New Orleans converts. Tannehill finds Hopkins. And it's death by 1,000 cuts. Pickup of 8 here, pickup of 6 here. And in just a couple of plays, they've made their way into Jacksonville territory. Both these teams play a 2 tight end set. Pitch to Chubb. That's on the defensive card. And you get a blocking back reading, which probably is not going to end well, and it doesn't. He loses 3. You look at the little write-up there. You don't pay much attention to the play-by-play. It says Chubb running, loses 3 yards. New Orleans really could have used blocking back on that play. Well, maybe it's like 1974. Oh, and Tannehill is sacked. Oh, what a big break there. Cam Jordan with the play, and it's a loss of 6. And now it's 3rd and 19. Look out for a run here. A bomb to Devontae Adams. Defense guesses pass. Let's see. That one, I believe, was a dump off. Yep. So, no chances there by Jacksonville. Didn't take any chances, called pass. They'll now take over at their own 15. So a sigh of relief for Jacksonville. Who went 3 and out on their last possession. Wow, what a nice call there. Looking for Bellinger. And he's going to pick up 6. I thought I saw a double team there. And that's why I said it was a great call. The tight end pass was not a great call. It was just a normal call. Looking for Deebo Samuel. He was double teaming Gesicki. Samuel makes the catch. There was a fumble chance there. Samuel holds on. 11-yard gain, running clock. We made it to the midway point of the 4th quarter. Jacksonville and New Orleans battling for the title here in 2024. It would be the 22 SSFA championship. Inside run for Cook. They were double teaming Bellinger. Oh, just missed that 28-yard run. It's only a pickup of 1 for James Cook. Hoping for something more when you get on the outskirts like a 3. 7:12 to go. Jacksonville has the ball on their own 33. They're up by 6 here in this championship. New Orleans trying to claw back. Cook picks up 5. It's guessed right. Good call. But he still manages to get 5, and so now it's 3rd and 4. Big play for both of these clubs. Jacksonville converts. And they can munch more time. But in this case, Brady looking for Evans. And the pass is incomplete. So a booming kick. They elect to return it. And it only gets out to the 14-yard line. So we're definitely running out of time here, and one wonders if this could be the last possession for New Orleans. 6 minutes to go. Would like nothing more than to put together a lengthy drive to put this one away. Guessed wrong. And again, that's the Adams and Chubb factor back there. You've got to mix in runs every once in a while with Tannehill's, really good flat pass card. He can nickel and dime you that way as well. Now, you're not going to get beaten downfield with this guy. Oh, and a huge sack. How about that? Sacked by J.J. Watt. A loss of 10 yards. Now, that's interesting. So J.J. Watt was on my team, and I made a trade. I thought maybe it was Jacksonville that it was them. Now that I look back, I believe it was Jacksonville that I made that trade with for J.J. Watt. Sure was. Well, J.J. Watt has played in 2 straight championships. What do you know? And he made a huge play there. A 10-yard sack that at this point looks like it's going to stymie this drive. 3rd and 20. Not much in the playbook here for this. Sideline pass for Adams. Pretty pedestrian call. No gain. And they all have to punt. So New Orleans better hope they have another possession here. That was an empty one at best. 3 and out. The big play there, J.J. Watt's sack. And if Jacksonville can manage a couple of first downs here and keep that ball off the ground or into the grubby hands of the New Orleans Saints defenders, he's got a real chance to take home the title. Brady looking for Gesicki, and that is good for 15 yards. And that was guessed right as well. So he just happened to run into a 15-yard pickup there in a flat pass on Gesicki. He's not quite the receiver. That card is not nearly as good as the one the year before, but still there's some nice double-digit gains. And you see that out of those blocking backs and tight ends. Nice key there by the Saints. No gain for James Cook. 2nd down and 10. 2:42 to go. Both clubs have their timeouts, all 3 left. Oh, guessed wrong, but he hits a 12. Not a lot of blanks. Brady has a marvelous guessed wrong short pass card. Looking for Samuel. Defense guessed run there. And that's, well, I was going to say that's good for 2 accounts because that keeps the clock above the 2-minute warning. It stops it at 2:24. So technically, if there's a short pass, incomplete pass here, there's going to be at least one more play before the 2-minute warning. Every second precious for the Saints, trying to preserve those timeouts. Crossing pattern, looking for Allen Robinson. First time we've called his name, and the defender, is able to make the play. Defender is able to make the play. He only needed to be a 4, and that was just enough to get it done. All right, so New Orleans has it, but they're in a lot worse shape than they were just a moment ago. They're staring down the barrel of a Joe Montana drive here. 2 minutes to go. Ball at the 11. But again, keep in mind, this doesn't mean that they've got to start launching the ball. They've got 2 really good running backs with a chance to break. There's a flat pass to Hopkins that is incomplete. Obviously, it'll take a touchdown here. 20-14. Lots of offensive fireworks in the first half, but the second half, only 1 touchdown for New Orleans and a field goal for Jacksonville. It's been a classic, 23-17. Ball in your hands, chance to win it. Some coaches never get this experience to have a chance to win the game in the last moments. Off tackle draw. Chubb looking for something, anything. And it's only a pickup of 2. And worse yet, it's in the middle of the field. So they probably got to consider burning a timeout here, and they do not. Instead, they're going to play hurry up. So bad break there. I don't know if they're going to throw downfield. You've got great receivers, but you've just got to hope for a break here that it's going to be on the D card. Certainly don't want it on Tannehill's card. Quick out looking for Firemuth. Oh, and nothing going. So this is the ball game right here. If New Orleans doesn't convert, it's all but over. New Orleans will be done for. 4th and 8. New Orleans has all 3 of their timeouts left, but they can't risk giving the ball back. They've got to hold on. Minute 22 to go. Crossing pattern, looking for Devontae Adams. And let's see, intercepted. Yes, intercepted. Tannehill is picked off. And at this point, Jacksonville probably just going to have 3 runs up the middle if they bother. Let's see, Cook picks up 5. New Orleans will call timeout, try to extend the game, hope that there's a fluky fumble here. But if things run out the way they should, Jacksonville should be able to put this game out of reach with a field goal. I mean, if it's me, I'm just kneeling on it at this point. Let's see if he decides to run again. Small little risk for a fumble. Yep. Run. Cook. Dreaded 5. He loses a yard, so now it's 3rd and 6. Ball at the 9. Saints with 1 more timeout. I can't imagine them throwing here and even taking any risk at all. A 26-yard field goal from here to put this game away. Let's see what he chooses to do here on 3rd down. Another run for Cook. Defense guesses run. So 27-yard field goal for the SSFA championship. And he puts it through. So Gano has extended this lead to 9. So 45 seconds to go. There's your squib kick. Ah, gosh. Ball at the 21. So at this point, I think it's bombs away. Three wide set. There's a deep pass, and Hopkins looks like he caught it. Yes, he did. So 27-yard kick. But unfortunately, they didn't have great field position to begin with. And so the ball now is at the 48. If they'd had a long gain, they could have considered, kicking a field goal and maybe having an onside kick and coming up with some crazy result there. But it only goes for 27, and worse yet, they can't stop the clock. So there's a bomb to Adams. And 2 in the zone, it's incomplete. So 15 seconds left. He's got to score on this play, or this game is going to be over. He's got time for 1 offensive touchdown, an onside kick, and then another offensive touchdown. He called a phenomenal game today. I think he just was short a couple of breaks here and there. And this game could have been a lot tighter. But he did as good as you could do with Tannehill and the roster that he has. And when you're up against 5 and 6s all over the field, and a 16-1 club and a super coach in Jay Villing, who is going to take home the SSFA championship here in a matter of seconds. So 4th and 10 with 8 seconds to go. And that one falls harmlessly to the turf. And so Brady will come out for one play, take a knee, and he will put this football in his trophy case. Congratulations to Jacksonville Jay. The Jaguars will come out on top 26-17. The 16-1, number 1 seeded Jacksonville Jaguars have defeated the number 2 seed New Orleans Saints, coached by Scott. Fantastic season for both of these clubs. So congratulations to each of these teams. It was a great SSFA campaign. Thank you very much, NFL Ed, for putting everything together. You're such a great commissioner, and you work so hard in multiple leagues. I know this is a passion of yours, and we just genuinely appreciate all of the work that you do. Let's go to the box score here real quick before we go. Just scroll through it so everybody can take a look. Yeah, if you want to look at some of the highlights, as you can see there, New Orleans fumbled the ball 3 times and lost it twice, and had some bad luck on 4th down conversions as well. Of course, they had to try out one that was late, but they had a couple in their own end that led to Jacksonville scores. Look at the quarterbacks and the running backs there. We've got Tannehill, 18 of 32 for 172 yards with 1 touchdown. Brady, 20 of 34 for 199 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Leading rusher was Chubb with 65 yards on the ground, 61 yards for Joshua Kelly, and he only played 1 half. Hopkins, 5 catches for 61 yards. The lone touchdown reception went to Aaron Jones, the running back. Bellinger and Deebo Samuel both had 5 catches. Nothing really to write home about. There was a 31-yard touchdown reception from Brady to Evans. We did see a few sacks in this contest. One for New Orleans, that was Khalil Mack. And there's J.J. Watt, the former Cleveland Brown who was traded at the beginning of this season, and he comes through big when it mattered most in this championship contest. So I'll just wrap things up here. I'll send a note on Slack. If anybody wants to talk, I'll be happy to. And if not, we're going to wrap up this broadcast. So I'm a little rusty here. Sorry, this wasn't one of my better ones, but hopefully people will enjoy watching this broadcast. I know I did. Win or lose after my games, they're always a lot of fun to watch. Coaches are welcome to join after the game if you would like. So we'll check the lobby to see if anybody's going to join. And if they don't in a couple minutes, we'll go ahead and wrap up this broadcast. It's been a little while since I broadcast. So again, a little rusty, but enjoyed it and hope that you do too. the little back and forth between these coaches. Jay is a class act, and I've played Scott in this league for several years, and he's a class act too. I've had lots of really fun conversations with both of these coaches after games. It's been a lot of fun. So see if anybody wants to chat. Looks like somebody came in here, but I see. Who do I see here? Looks like Ed is backstage, but there's no connection. I think Jay has actually called some of these games, if I remember correctly. Yeah, we'll post this to YouTube here in a little bit. I'll change the title, but we won't put the score. No spoilers, so everybody can catch up with this game. The game was originally scheduled for Saturday morning, and it was here moved to Wednesday. So the connection has been dropped. Let's see if anybody joins. If they don't, we're going to wrap this up. Okay, well, I guess that's it. Again, congratulations to Jay and congratulations to Scott. I enjoyed playing in this championship last year. Losing stung, but it was a lot of fun playing in what turned out to be my first championship. And then a few months later, I played in the Strat 28 championship as well. So kind of building blocks, basically. Jay's been in the winner's circle on a few occasions, and I'm sure this one was just as sweet. And Scott, a great accomplishment to get this team to 13-4. And best of luck to you next year, and best of luck to you, Jay, as you attempt to go back to back. But obviously, you're going to need a new quarterback. Okay, that's it. We're going to wrap things up. Everybody, thank you for enjoying watching. If you watch live, if not, enjoy the replay. God bless everybody. Have a lovely rest of the summer, and we will see everybody soon with lots and lots of drafts, right? Get that prep ready. Everybody take care now.